Hi guys, this is Zach and welcome back to another episode of Lumix tutorial. In this episode, we're going to talk about HLG versus log. We have another separate video to talk about log before, so if you want to understand more about log, you can go and check that out. So to understand what is HLG, you first have to understand what is HDR. So HLG stands for Hybrid Log Gamma, and HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. So we have also another video talk about dynamic range. You can go and check that out, what is dynamic range, and come back to this. So HDR content usually is those videos you see are more vivid and more saturation and more evenly exposed video. Those are the HDR content, and to play back those content you need to have a HDR TV. So some time ago, some people invented HLG as a format so that they can broadcast to people who do not have a HDR screen, so they can still play the same video but in a non-HDR format, and whenever you are in a HDR TV, the TV knows that, oh, this is a HLG file, so that they can play back in HDR. So HLG is, in a very oversimplified term, it is a more flexible HDR. It can adapt to different screens. You can shoot both log and HLG internally in the Lumix GH6 or GH5 or other type of Lumix camera. It's a color profile. So the difference between a log and a HLG, by visual, you can tell that log is a more flat, a more grayish video, and HLG is also flat, but it's not that flat compared to a log. So when do you shoot HLG and when do you shoot log is entirely up to you. But if you know beforehand that what kind of deliverables you want to deliver at the end of the day, so if you want to deliver HDR content, you might want to shoot in HLG because this is meant for that. So other time I will just stick with log profile. Of course, there are more things that will dictate which one is better in which scenario, but that will be a bit too in-depth for this video. There will be another entirely different video, all right? So we have other video talking about color. We have talking about dynamic range and log. You can go check that out. But this is a simple, basic difference between a HLG and log. So that will be all in this episode. I'm Zach, and I will see you next time.